Allie, and it is Wednesday, which means that today is writing vlog day. However, the day that I am actually filming this is still Wednesday. Usually I film these vlogs on Tuesdays and then edit them and post them on Wednesday, but I was not able to film yesterday because we had people coming to the house, so on and so forth, and so I am not only going to be filming this video today and doing all the writing that is involved with a writing vlog, but I'm also going to be editing this video and hopefully filming and editing another video for this Friday because I'm trying to get some pre-recording done so I have some free time to finish working on some Christmas gifts and stuff since Christmas is only like a week away. And so I am not trying to get a ton of words in today, as you might have guessed by that. I am already getting a late start to the morning. I started filming this video and got through a 5-minute little warm-up sprint before I realized that I had never hit record at all. And so I'm re-recording the intro and everything else. So I'm already getting a pretty late start. It's already noon, so I have very limited time to actually get this writing done. So forgive me for not doing a 2,000 word day today, but we're gonna aim for 500 and hope that we can get somewhere between that and 1,000, and I will be a-okay with that. But first, before we get into the writing, let me quickly take you through the past week as far as my writing goes. This past weekend, we went to Mississippi, my fiance and I, to go see one of our friends graduate. And so in the course of those 2 flights to get to Mississippi, I listened to Aurora Rising by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman on audiobook. Now, I love Jay Kristoff's writing. He wrote Nevernight, he wrote Lifelike, all books that I really enjoy, and he also co-authored with Amy Kaufman again the Illuminae File series, which was the first thing that I ever read by either of them. And I absolutely adored that series when I first read it back a few years ago when Illuminae first came out. And I was reading Aurora Rising, loved it. So when I got home after that trip, I finished reading the book on audiobook and then quickly realized that the next book does not come out until next summer, which meant that I was starved for more content. And of course, the first book that I ever turn to when I am in a sci-fi mood reading phase is the Illuminae Files, which is written by the exact same people. And I just kind of decided to reread all of the Illuminae Files after finishing Aurora Rising. And so that's great and all, but it's also taken a good chunk of my writing time away from me, both because, one, we were in Mississippi, I wasn't getting a lot of writing done in Mississippi, but even after returning, I was spending a lot of my time reading and rereading. So I am going to jump back into it today. If I can get up to 1,000 words, I will consider that a huge win, but I am not putting too much pressure on myself today for writing, at least, because I have so many other things that I need to get done before the end of today. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into a 5-minute sprint. Like I said, I already tried recording this video and then realized that I hadn't recorded it at all, and so I have already done the little 5-minute sprint. I can't even remember how many words I got in, but it was somewhere between 50 and 60, and it was just a lot of cleanup work and so on and so forth. So nothing too exciting there. So instead of boring you with all of that and rehashing myself, I am going to instead just jump into that 20-minute sprint and show you my little coffee making montage, though the coffee has been made, it has been sipped, it is already getting cold. So instead, I'm just going to go ahead and reheat my coffee, and then we will get back to writing and check back in with you after that. In that 20-minute sprint, I got around 380-ish words, and that was mostly, like, 200 of that was finishing up the previous chapter that I was working on last night and bringing that to a close, and then the rest of it was starting a new chapter. So I've already kind of succeeded in my goal for the day as far as just getting some progress in, so I'm already happy with that. As far as what I am writing in the story, I can't say too much without being spoilery, but there are just a lot of things happening at the moment. That sounds so lame. There's just a lot of things happening at the moment, but this is definitely the climactic moment. There have been a lot of things that I was working up to in the past month and in NaNoWriMo that were building up and building up and building up, and that's finally kind of coming to a head. Like, this is the straw that broke the camel's back, essentially. So that is really exciting to write, and even though it's stressful to have to sit down and put the words on the paper, especially because this is something that I have thought about a lot, but never truly like scripted out or outlined in any way. So I am somewhat pantsing this, even though I know where I want the story to go. So I'm stressed about that, but I'm also excited about it because it is fun to just kind of sit there and vomit the words out onto the page and hope that something good comes out of it. And so that is pretty much what I've been doing for yesterday and now into today. So I am just going to continue on doing that for, I guess, another, let's do 10 minutes, just because I don't want to just do another 20-minute sprint and then be done and then sign off with you guys here. Because while this is probably going to be a short vlog, I don't want it to be, 2 sprints and then I'm done. So I'm going to do a 10-minute sprint and then check back in with you again. And then I will hang back one more time for probably another 10-minute sprint or 15-minute or whatever the case may be, depending on where I'm at. And then we will see where we're at. So 10-minute sprint is done. I did not get a ton of words that time, literally just around 100, and I'm not too mad at that. It's just that I am a little bit bummed that I wasn't able to get a few more in there at that point. So while I am very quickly approaching my goal for the day of 500 words, I am realizing, at least I realized in that past 10-minute sprint, that I have a few ideas that I really want to jot down. And so for now, I am just going to let the plot bunny take me, and I'm going to do a 5-minute sprint. I'm going to give myself 5 minutes to write down all of these ideas that I'm having for the other story, and then jump back in and work on this Rowan story. And hopefully that will get me well past my goal for today, and hopefully keep me from getting too distracted by this other story idea that I've got floating in my head. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, check back in with you after, and then we will just see where we're at. So 5 minutes turned more into 15 minutes, but we're just going to leave that there and not address it. So I mainly just did exactly what I said I was going to do, got some thought dumping stuff in, wrote some notes to myself for future research topics that I need to do, because as far as I am currently aware, these 2 stories do not take place in the same world, though they are both fantasy stories. And so I need to figure out some of the world building elements that I have yet to discover or yet to really think through at the moment. So I was doing a lot of that. That was what was really bugging me when I was doing my last sprint in the actual, story that I'm supposed to be working on right now. I was just constantly thinking to myself, oh crap, I don't know, is that thing true? That thing that I've based this whole story on, is that actually accurate? Is that something that could actually happen? And so I was thinking to myself all of these things. So I was just going into that thing for 5 minutes to write those little research notes to myself and look some things up and all of that stuff. So now I am satisfied. At least for now, I have more research to do, but I am going to leave that there for now. And now I'm going to jump back into this story and close us off with, I think I'm going to do a 20-minute sprint just because I spent so much longer on this other story idea than I was initially planning to. So I am going to do a 20-minute sprint to close this out. I will check back in with you then, and then I believe we are just going to sign off. There we have it. So another 20-minute sprint down in the books. That time I got 468 words, so I am somewhere. I haven't added them all together, but the number will be here of the full amount of words that I got today. And that is pretty much where I'm going to leave it. I'm happy with that. I am beyond happy with that, actually, because that is way more than I was intending to get done today. I am going to go ahead and sign off here, but thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for getting me up to 300 subscribers. That is so awesome. I don't like to give myself goals anymore because I feel like they are partly really exciting and they're so nice to actually reach a goal, but around this time of year, a lot of people are saying things like, oh, by the end of this year, can I have this many subscribers? Oh, by the end of 2019, I want to be at this number and whatever. And I think those things are so great, and I think they are great ways to motivate yourselves and great ways to market yourselves to your audience. But as far as I go, I am always terrified to do that because I'm so terrified of the failure of saying that I wanted to be at 300 subscribers by the end of 2019, because just I had this really terrible feeling of, if I say that I'm trying to have 300 subscribers by the end of this year and then I don't, then I'm a massive failure and nobody likes me. And I know that that's not true, that's just my anxiety talking, but I did, in the back of my mind, have this goal of trying to be at 300 subscribers by the end of this year. And so the fact that I am there and that I didn't ask you for it and that it just kind of happened organically, I'm just so happy about, and I thank you guys so much for joining me, and I look forward to continuing on into the next year, and I hope that we get even more friends to join to this channel. And yeah, so little sappy bit aside, thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you guys for getting me up to 300 subs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, and if you like my content, do subscribe. I make videos every Wednesday and Friday, most of the time. We'll see. And that is going to be all for me today, so I will see you in the next one.
We're an hamster.